What's going on, everybody? Episode 185 of Wassup Flobo. That never gets old. You know the deal. This is where we sit and we chat about things going on in this guy's life, things I experienced, to keep you abreast of what's going on in Flopito's land. I gotta say, as always, if you haven't already, you should do it now. Patreon.com/FloboBoys. That's where you want to go to unlock bonus content. I know I always say this at the top of the show. I get my little stuff in, but Patreon.com/FloboBoys. That's where you have access to bonus interviews, some polls, and I'm trying something new this month. This is actually a treat. I'll give you guys a little preview. I'm dabbling. I haven't decided whether I should go into the try space. I know it's a very well-worn niche here on YouTube, but I want to do one of those try videos where I do something for the first time on camera and you guys get to see it. So this month, I tried Flobo tries Starfruit for the first time, which is pretty cool. So you can see my original reaction for the first time I've ever tried Starfruit. And I don't think I have, but I know I'm gonna show it to my mom. And if I had it as a kid, she'd probably correct me. But I don't think I've ever had it before. So this is my first reaction, doing it exclusively on Patreon and more stuff. And of course, flopito.threadless.com. Buy the merchandise, support the homie. And for those of you who support the homie before, thank you so much. You make this a reality. And so the big thing for me this week is getting used to a rhythm with the Spotify thing. I know a lot of you, my friends, were asking about it. What does it mean? What does it entail? Can I not talk to you no more? Thing is, we're still buddies, man. We're still fine. A couple months ago, Spotify had an opportunity to be on this podcast. It's called Mac Mania. It's about wrestling. It's about pop culture. It's about all the great stuff. I was invited to be on the show, and I said, why not? Why not? Just a little bit of inside baseball. The show records and releases the same day. I get up now at 5:45 on Tuesday mornings, and I clear the throat as best as I can, and I try to warm up the vocals and get something nice in the vocal cords, and we record at 7 o'clock local time. And it goes out that same day. So when you're getting my knee-jerk reaction, it's not heavily edited. There is no redos. It is live to tape about anything and everything going on in the world of professional wrestling. And to be fair, we do focus on wrestling on national TV. So the Impact, the AEW and WWE. But it's so cool to be part of something bigger than what I'm currently working on. Not to say that the New Amsterdam Entertainment isn't big. I think it's great. I just feel like the Ringer brand, the Spotify brand, has slightly more brand recognition. Until I have my own New Amsterdam app, I gotta settle for Spotify's bigger footprint there. But if you guys haven't already, it's in the feed for the Ringer Wrestling Show. There's 2 shows on that feed, The Masked Man, which I also recommend you check out, but definitely check out Mac Mania. It airs every Tuesday afternoon now, especially if you're on the East Coast. So yeah, that's been kind of fun to be able just to go out there and do that show and maintain the shows I'm doing. And I know I'm going to have to sit down one day and figure out the empire, figure out the scheduling. How do I pack it all in? For those who keeping score, not only is it the podcast, the content work, the writing for comedy, getting back into that, the video game esports things, the writing for nonfiction and fictional books and short stories. Now we're still trying to get back on track with my health now that my quadricep or the knee is better this after the summer of couldn't run. So getting back into good fitness, if you will. So a lot of things were happening that level. I want to say it's great. I want to be like, oh man, this is what I want to, this is what I dream for. And I kind of have, but every time I'm on cloud 9, there's that rent check being like, bruh, come on down on cloud 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? But keep pushing on brick by brick. And that's a little bit of advice for you today. I know if you guys have picked up Graduation Day by now available on Amazon, you'll know that I'll tell you that sometimes difficulties, or a lot of times difficulties in life, are pretty normal. And your idea is supposed to navigate this the best way you can. Either you can dig deep, either you can pray, either you can confide in someone, or a combination of all 3, or even more stuff. It's going to be difficult. But I want you guys to know, especially on this show, that what I'm working on, I go through my own thing. Even though to the outsider perspective, I look like I'm a success. And in some ways I am. I'm not trying to deny that, but in my mind, I cannot be successful until I have a net positive self-worth. But I will say this: a couple weeks ago, when my old college hit me up and they wanted me to be in their alumni feature for about 4 days. Back to back to back, I felt like I was successful AF. And I know you're probably saying, Flobo, nothing changed. They're just saying what's already happening. You should embrace that. And you should say, look, you are successful. But I really think it's very close to that same part in your brain that tells you you're not satisfied, the ones that makes you want to keep going. The last thing I want to do is, even before quitting, quitting is the next last thing, probably the second thing. But the last thing I want to do is have a little bit, as I say, a modicum of success and be like, whoa, me, I'm a big deal. 15 years ago, I did this. I had a boss, I won't name his name. I won't tell where I had him because you could probably deduce it. But he was in entertainment and he was a very bad manager. He would yell at us Monday through Thursday and then buy us pizza on Friday as if that was supposed to make everything better. But he cut his teeth working on a television show that lasted one season about 15 years ago. So when someone asks him about non-scripted entertainment, like what, like live TV or reality TV or game shows or anything that's not like a drama or a comedy, he would always say, oh yeah, I worked on this show. It was on Fox. It was great. And I was like, that aired between the years of 2001 and 2001. Like, that's successful, yes, but you have to keep pursuing stuff. You have to keep yourself relevant. If you come out with a PhD in a lot of fields, you have to keep writing to make yourself still knowledgeable in that field. This is why I think a lot of people who have success don't stop. This is why people go, why there's a cult of personality around Elon Musk, right? He didn't do PayPal and was like, I'm done. I did PayPal. I'm good. He's like, no, SpaceX, Tesla, the boring company, more. Same deal. But at the same time, I understand how unhealthy it could be when you dismiss everything you get to be like, whatever. But that's why I'm just rapping here with you. As for me on a personal level, I think I'm good. It's hot here today, but it's going into October of 2021. I thought 2020 was a lost year. At least we're all inside. This one, I was outside doing stuff. I was inside. It was supposed to be better, but it kind of was the same, but kind of better, but it wasn't worse. It wasn't a bad year. It wasn't on fire, but nothing is really normal. But we blinked and 9 months are almost gone and we're into a 10th month of a year. I feel like there's going to be a time where we're going to have our kids, in my case, theoretical kids, where you sit down and say, hey, look, the years of between 2020 and 2022 and a half were just a blur for all the worst reasons. I just can't believe these 2 years almost done. I just can't. I can't do it. I hope I check my bucket list to see what I have done, what's left to be done that I can do, because I can't necessarily get a motorcycle in the next two months because, frankly, registration costs would be too much. But besides that, I gotta double check my yearly bucket list. I do that, a yearly bucket list at the end of every year for the year after, and an overall bucket list for my Kick the Bucket. So I gotta double check with that. But it just blows my mind. I was on my run today and I was like, man, it's October. Like, it literally is October. A busy month in the DJ tip. Again, on the one hand, it's great that I'm working. On the other hand, it's all weddings that I've been paid for, so I'm working for free essentially, and I'm outside or with other people, so there's always a risk of being exposed to things. So it's like a good thing, a blessing, but at the same time, it's like, but as you guys can tell, I'm a guy that worries about everything else. So that does it for me in this edition of Wassup Flobo. I'll be back here next week to talk about more stuff going on in your boys Flobito's life. And if you guys haven't already, man, hit me up on that newamsterdam.com, that flobito.com. Buy a t-shirt at flobito.threadless.com. And the Patreon, like I said before, unlike bonus content, see me eat a star fruit at patreon.com/FloboBoys. I don't know how to end this one, so I would say, like I always say, make sure you call your mother. She misses you.